One of the things that I'd love us to talk about just now is how there seems to be each day a grinding down of our ability to manage what's going on. We've got a hope that we're going to be able to be with our family, and then it gets dashed with, they're going to extend the emergency orders. The trying to get things going with friends and colleagues. Everything just seems to be building up. It's like I often have the sense these days that I've just about had enough. I'm not sure how to fill my bucket so that I'm able to kind of cope and go on. And so I'm trying things like gratitude and other things. But I'm wondering if you're finding that too in your life and in your conversations, that this kind of grinding down, the grind of this going on for so long, and the uncertainty being hard to figure out how to manage.
I think it's something that so many people are grappling with. I felt last week that a lot of people who had been, holding on to hope and resilience and all those things for all of these many weeks and months were starting to feel like it was becoming too much. And I posted something on social media at the end of the week basically saying, I hope we're getting to the point in the story where things are going to take a dramatic turn for the better, because I just don't know how many awful plot twists I can manage. Like, I literally was feeling like that myself. And when I posted that, a lot of people responded and said they'd been feeling similarly. And I had some private messages from people saying that they had had the most difficult time in the last few weeks that they'd ever had in their lives. And these are really strong, resourceful, relatively privileged people. So I feel like that's the collective mood right now. And I think we really need to deeply acknowledge that it's not personal failing. It's just an overwhelming situation that's been going on and in many ways becoming more challenging over time. So let's talk a little bit about what to do about that. Like, I worry myself sometimes that I keep a lot of feelings in, even though I try to process them on an ongoing basis. I'm a quiet person, I'm an introvert. So sometimes I do a lot of thinking, and then at some point it becomes too much. Usually I start crying. Some of the people that I know in my life know me well, that, they just look at me, they see that look in my eyes, and they know one more bad news story on the news today and I will be sobbing, which is true. But that helps me process some of that emotion. So, if I were sitting across from you in my office as an overwhelmed parent who's thinking like, I'm treading water, I'm sinking, what would you say to that parent who's feeling really overwhelmed right now, Jean, and wondering how to get through all these many, many challenges?
Well, it's a great question, and I would much rather be across from that parent having a coffee and sharing our experience, to be honest, because what you're describing is what I've also experienced. I think there's some things to be learned from the resilience research. And I had a great experience the other day listening to a woman from New Zealand, a resilience researcher who had her daughter was killed in an accident, so she suddenly had to live what her life research had been. And she said that there are three things to think about. One is bad stuff happens. So resilient people are aware that bad things happen. So instead of saying, why is this happening to me? They say, life is not rosy, get on with it. The other thing, and I think that's really important, I think that we get that drain of, why me? Why is this happening? Why are we going through this? And all it does is it drains our psychic energy. The second thing that she talked about is saying, is what I'm doing going to be helpful, or is it going to be harmful? So making decisions to say, this ruminating about X, Y, or Z, or talking and thinking about what that person said and what it meant, or being uncertain about when is school going to open or what are we going to be doing, is that helping you or harming you? Do you need to live in the moment and seize the good? So that was the second thing. And the last thing was, be in control of the things that you can control. Figure out your focus. figure out your focus and focus on the things that you can do. So I find that, and I've just recently come across it, and this week it's been easier just to say, what can I control? What can I not control? I can be physically distant, but emotionally connected to my kids and to my friends. I can not change what's happening, for example, in the US, but I can absolutely send my thoughts of love to the people going through and hope and pray for them. So what I can do, I'm going to do. But it's really the reflection of those things, I think.
Yes, and the more we do that reflection and sort of reframe things, the less powerless we feel, because suddenly you realize there is an opportunity to contribute or to move the conversation in a particular direction, or even the lens you carry with you on a particular day. I find that if I wake up in a bad mood, it's easy to shine a spotlight on all the things that are going wrong and to almost like be building up a list. Okay, here's another thing that went wrong, as opposed to saying, let's shift the focus and look at some of the things that are actually going right at a personal level, at a community level, because you're right. We are members of the Fierce Optimist Club. We're not relinquishing our memberships anytime soon, right, Jean? We're going to keep
Right.
looking for the good in the humanity and the possibilities for a brighter future, because we wouldn't be doing the work we do if we didn't believe that change was possible and that our kids can inherit a happier, healthier world from us.
Yes, well, there is, I love that is a title of a new book there, Anne, The Fierce Optimist. Yes, surviving, yeah, and thriving. Love it.